Students in the Daytona State College Broadcast Television Production Associate of Science degree work as production crew members in the following program.
'23 is a new era for Daytona State softball, and we are thrilled to celebrate it here on WDSC TV. Welcome to the Falcons softball complex. Today we've got the Daytona State Falcons hosting the Eastern Florida State Titans. Come on inside our state-of-the-art studio here on campus at Daytona State. So excited you're here. I'm Drew Felios, and a new face here to the Falcons Athletic Network. Welcome, Jason Powers.
Appreciate it. Great to be here. We got a beautiful day for some softball, and we're going to see some new era here in Falcon history with Coach Ben Greer.
Yeah, awesome, Coach Greer. First year in the program. He takes over for Kelly Harrell. Jason, you can feel the enthusiasm. You see the ladies out on the field getting ready for this game, and there's just a buzz going on right now in the program.
They've got a little winning going on. They've won 4 games. They only won 8 games all of last year, so I think they're liking the winning feeling. Got a beautiful day, got a windy day out there, so I think we're going to see some offense, and I think Coach Greer is really excited about where his girls in this Falcon program is going.
Falcons wearing those sharp blue and gray uniforms. The blue stripes really, really look nice. All right, let's take a look at the starting order for Eastern Florida. They come in at 3-5 on the season, and they will send Trinity Howard to the plate first. She is an outstanding pitcher. We'll be calling her name a lot. Also, J.C. Boykin hitting second, Kenzie for third, Abby Smith the cleanup, followed by Stout, Snell, Shout, Campos in the 7-hole, Ava Bassani, and Sam Clark is the catcher. The head coach for Eastern Florida is Shelby Pettick, also new to the program. Done a great job with it. Played collegiate softball at Presbyterian College, and the ladies love their coach there on the Eastern Florida side. Very much a player's coach. And for Daytona State, let's look at the defense first. In the circle today, Madison Mitzel will get the ball. Her catcher is Riley Konowalczyk. At third, Maddie Linhart. The shortstop, Brianna Weimer. Also, J.L. Wild, the second baseman, Jalen Lockhart at first, and the outfielders, Kylie Lucas, Kadriana Grinstead, and the right fielder, Christina Penny. The head coach is Ben Greer. Coach Greer comes from Iowa Western, the powerhouse program in the Midwest. Absolutely thrilled to be here at Daytona State in his first season. Did we mention it is an absolutely perfect day here on the Space Coast. 72 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, and we are ready for Falcons softball. Eastern Florida hits first. Trinity Howard in her first at-bat. The starting pitcher today for the Titans. Swinging, and that one is hit hard down the third base line, just foul. Our plate umpire today is Joshua Carr. Our umpire along the bases is Mike Kelly, and you see, Jason, that swing of Trinity Howard. This young lady can play.
She can, and we talked to Coach Greer yesterday, and she talked about Madison Mitchell, the pitcher, how she's not going to be overpowering. So there's going to be a lot of contact today, that in order for Madison to be effective, her changeup needs to be good, and you've seen now two bullets down the line foul, that she needs to get the ball down, and she needs to use that excellent changeup of hers.
Yeah, Mitchell comes in with a 3-0 record on the year. There's Mike Kelly, our umpire along the bases today. Chamber of Commerce weather here at Daytona State.
And the wind will be a factor today, too, blowing out in all directions, it looked like, to the outfield. So I think you're going to see, again, we're going to see some hard-hit balls, and some balls get elevated. We might see some dingers here for both teams.
Just off the plate that time. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trinity Howard. So Mitzel, known for hitting her spots, and that one took a little off on the changeup, and she's got her first strikeout.
Absolutely. Again, her changeup is her best pitch. You saw Trinity Howard up in the batter's box trying to get there. She swung a little early, and the changeup was effective, keeping the ball down.
So now here's the left fielder, J.C. Boykin, coming to the plate. Daytona State coming off 2 wins last weekend against South Georgia State College. And right now, Mitzel paints that outside corner. Jay, you mentioned they've got 4 wins thus far. Already a week into the season, half the win total of a season ago.
Yeah, had a struggle last year, 8-41, I believe was the number. And so, yeah, confidence. Again, Coach Greer's not satisfied. He knows they need to get better defensively, but he is satisfied with how they're hitting the ball. They're doing well. And again, winning breeds confidence. The more you win games, the more confident you get as we move through this early part of the season.
1 ball, 1 strike. The count now to Boykin. She gets a piece of one. It'll be hit to the second baseman, and Wild makes the play for the easy out over to Lockhart, and there's 2 away. So Daytona State, Coach Greer stressing early in the season, defense, defense, defense.
And they've struggled defensively. They gave up an inning early in the year, 12 runs in an inning. Majority of those runs were lack of defensive plays, unearned runs. So make the easy plays. Not every play is going to be makeable, but the ones you get, the routine ones like that one right there to Wild, you got to make every single time.
Now Kenzie Ford steps in, the first baseman for the power hitter in this lineup. She's out of Oviedo High School. She gets a piece of one. It's going to go a long way.
Keep the ball down here. You got to keep, nice job there, nice pitch, lower in the zone.
So Mackenzie Ford, a sophomore, another experienced Titan coming to the dish here this afternoon. Maddie Mitzel stares it down. That one could go a long way. It's launched into right field and off the glove of Christina Penny. She goes back to the wall to track it. Ford will stop at second base and a 2-out double for Mackenzie Ford.
Absolute bullet there off the bat of Ford. Again, a little tricky with the wind out there in right field with Penny, but again, that I won't call that an error. That's a hit all the way. That's not an error. She got turned around in right field, but that's just good hitting. Got to give her credit.
Designated player.
You can see this Eastern Florida lineup. They certainly have the star power. Just have had a slow start this season, off to the 3-5 record. Okay, here's Abby Smith now hitting cleanup. And Smith watches a strike.
Again, another change up there, off-speed pitch. And again, you got 2 outs. Focus on the hitter here. It's probably going to take a long hit to get her home from second base. She's not the most fleet of foot at second base, so keep the ball down and focus on this. Popped her up. Yep.
Ball is popped up. The first baseman comes over, Jalen Lockhart, to make the grab. And Daytona State out of the inning. Eastern Florida strands one. A good start for Madison Mitzel, starting pitcher for the Falcons. And Daytona State coming up in just a moment. Halifax Health is a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics and is the official healthcare provider for the Falcons athletic program. The great partnership with Halifax Health continues, Jason. You rode into this campus today for the first time. It is clear as day and so awesome for a college like Daytona State to have a medical facility like this close by.
No, I mean, absolutely. Whether it's all facets of athletics, there's injuries that are going to happen throughout the year. Halifax Health is going to be a great partner with the university, helps the student body. I'm sure that the average student that goes here will have access to those health services. And again, from an athletics perspective, it's great to have great medical facilities available to you close by.
Just underway here at Daytona State. So excited you're here as the Falcons now will come up to bat. And here's the lineup for Daytona State. Kylie Lucas, the left fielder, hits first, followed by Grinstead in the 2-hole. Adriana Onesimo, remember last year she was lethal at the plate. She is back, and Daytona State is thrilled. Followed by J.L. Wild, Brianna Weimer, Jalen Lockhart, Riley Konowalczyk. We've also got Christina Penny, Maddie Linhart, and Madison Mitzel, the pitcher, in that order for Daytona State.
Interesting about this lineup, there's only 3 players on this whole roster that Coach Greer recruited. And those are the 3 players he brought from Iowa Western. Everybody else were new to Coach Greer.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that momentarily. There's the defense for the Titans. Boykin, Campos, and Bassani in the outfield. Snell and Stout, the third baseman and shortstop, respectively. Shout is at second, Fours at first. Sam Clark behind the plate. And Trinity Howard, tremendous pitcher for Eastern Florida. No surprise she gets the ball in this great rivalry over the years. 2 schools, Jay, on the east coast of Florida. It's a historic rivalry, and it's been so fun to watch over the years. As for Daytona State, Kylie Lucas comes to the dish.
Speedster here. Kylie wants to use her legs. She's a very fast runner. Keep the ball on the ground, and again, make the defense. If it's not a clean hit, make the defensive formation for the Titans. Throw her out at first base, but she is a speedster.
Inside part of the plate, it's a strike. Lucas hitting .313 this year out of Port Orange, a freshman. You talked about, Jason, Coach Greer did not recruit her, recruited by the prior coach, Kelly Harrell. But Coach Greer bringing a few of his players from Iowa Western here to Daytona State, and they have settled in very, very nicely. And it says something about Coach Greer as well to tell his ladies at Iowa, hey, I'm going to Daytona, and to have several players, Jason, want to follow him.
And we're going to talk about why they wanted to follow him, but again, Chamber of Commerce kind of day today is a great reason. Beautiful day, sunshine. We're in the
Oh, she launches that one to the left fielder. Kind of died in the air that time, and J.C. Boykin is underneath it for out number 1.
Yep, routine fly ball there. Good job by Trinity getting her to pop it up. And again, the wind's going to be a factor here today. I think you're going to see some balls get up in the air that are going to go further than they normally would have gone. She got the wind blowing out in all directions.
So here's Grinstead hitting in the 2-hole. Kadriana goes by Kadri, short version, in the dugout, and that just on the inside part of the plate for ball 1 out of Palm Coast.
And Drew, back to your point on recruiting. Coach Greer's still getting to know these guys, how they are going to fit in the lineup. Where do you put certain hitters in the order? Do you move them up in the order? Do you move them down? And I think these first 8 or 10 games, you're going to see Coach Greer probably mix and match the lineup a little bit to see where these certain batters fit the best to make this a lethal lineup, because they've scored a lot of runs so far to start this year.
Kadri will hit for power. Don't let her size fool you. And that is on the inside part of the plate for ball 2. So 2-1. Here is Trinity Howard, works on her second hitter. Kadri filling in at center field today for Amaya Hernandez, a Falcon star who we will not see, Jason. She is injured.
Yep.
She's got tremendous power. She's got a quad injury, so she's not in the lineup. She's one of those Iowa Western players that came down here to Falcon Country.
She was an All-American last year, hit 15 home runs. A clear power hitter would have been in this lineup. She played up and through the weekend, injured her quad. She's probably going to be out probably 5 to 7 days, we think. But
that ball is hit and should be playable. Gracie Snell shifts over to make the grab at third, and now there's 2 outs.
Both pitchers doing a real nice job. If you notice Howard, she's keeping the ball on the inside half of the plate. She's jamming these hitters. She's trying to get on the inside. And again, if you're a baseball fan, you always hear them talking about the pitcher owning the inside part of the plate. Much more difficult for the batters to get their arms extended.
Adriana Onesimo now stepping in for the Falcons and takes a strike. So Onesimo, the best returning player for Daytona State out of St. Pete on the West Coast, St. Pete High School. The Green Devils represented here in Daytona, and that's just low.
And she's playing a little nicked up too. She had a little bit of a heel injury over the weekend, but she's good enough to play. But again, Coach Greer mentioned a couple of the ladies in the lineup are a little banged up, but still good enough to play.
Just outside. So Onesimo usually hitting in this number 2, number 3 spot. They really need her bat big time in the lineup this year. Exploded on the scene last season, was one of the real silver linings in Daytona State's season a year ago. That one is just low.
And if you notice, if fans watching us on TV or on YouTube, you notice that the batters are way up in the batter's box. different for each batter. Everybody gets where they're comfortable. But if you notice the first several batters in this game, they're way up in the batter's box trying to eliminate the drop on these balls. These softballs, obviously, there's a lot of movement, so they're trying to minimize how much the ball moves prior to getting to the catcher. So I think that's why you see them way up in the batter's box.
Full count now to Onesimo. Trinity Howard trying to get her team back to the dugout, and it's ball 4. So a nice eye by Adriana Onesimo, and the Falcons have their first base runner.
Absolutely, that was probably an unhittable pitch. I mean, it would either been strike 3 in the inside corner, or it was but that's a nice job by Onesimo taking that close borderline pitch on 3-2.
All right, so here is one of those Iowa Western transfers. J.L. Wild, welcome to Daytona State. Sophomore out of St. George, Utah. She's hitting, Jay, only .526 so far this year. Just an incredibly talented young lady.
And she had a tremendous year last year, hit 23 home runs last year up in Iowa. She's going to, if she stays on that kind of pace with this weather and this wind, in this beautiful weather down there, she's going to get to play in most of her season. Those numbers will probably rise just sheer out of the weather conditions.
JL takes a strike, and now 1-1. Nods her head. She knows what's coming here. JL runs very well also, so if she can get aboard, she'll be a threat on the bases here with 2 outs, and that also misses inside.
A concerted effort by Trinity Howard to go to inside on these Falcon batters. I think that's probably part of this game plan here. They've realized, especially a player like Wild with the home run power, keep her arms from getting extended.
JL got a good piece of it. It's into right field, and it's going to get by. Runners trying to advance, and they'll come home. Falcons will threaten and score their first run as Onesimo crosses the plate. And Wild coming through with 2 outs. The Falcons lead 1-0.
That we just talked about getting her arms extended. A pitch on the outer half of the plate. She extended the arms. She went the other way, hit a ball over the right fielder's head for a clean triple. Great start for the Falcons here in the bottom of the first.
So that'll bring up Bree Weimer, now the shortstop. Weimer takes it low. She is a freshman out of Venice. And once again, good power and tremendous hands for Daytona State in the field.
Coach Greer really emphasized getting the barrel on the ball. And I think you saw with Wild, she clearly got the barrel on the ball there to hit the ball over the right fielder's head for a driving. Again, lucky the ball didn't leave the ballpark.
Jay, I really like the focus of Daytona State early on in this game. We drove in a few hours before the ladies were out there. You could just sense they were locked in. Yep. It's their debut on WDSC TV for 2023. They want to have a good showing today on television.
Absolutely. This is a great start here against a really good pitcher, Trinity Howard. If you can get this second run across with 2 outs, get a 2-0 lead, again, it gives Madison Mitzel even more confidence going back out on the mound later in this as this game unfolds.
Little change of speeds there, and it missed as well. So 3-1. Weimer is ahead in the count here.
Absolutely a green light here for Weimer. I mean, Howard struggling to keep the ball over the plate. This is definitely a green light special here.
Howard misses low. So now Daytona State with runners on the corners, first and third with 2 down.
The batter, first baseman.
This is the first of 2 games today here at Daytona State. We're not broadcasting the second game, but hey, sit home, watch this one, and then come out here to the Falcon Softball Complex and watch game number 2, Jay. Just an awesome day to be at the park as Lockhart now steps in for Daytona State.
Jalen's from a place we're both very familiar with, Tampa, Florida. She's an Alonzo High School product.
Hits it hard on the ground to the shortstop, and the force play made as the nice glove by Stout over to Shout. How about that name combination for the third out? So Daytona State, a 1-0 lead. They lead Eastern Florida after 1 inning. Hey, do you want to be featured on WDSC TV 15? Post an Instagram photo showing your Falcon pride with the hashtag DSCFan. And for each episode of The Fan Show, we will select photos to feature in our Fan Connect segment. Watch for your photo on the next episode of The Fan Show. That's Tuesday, February 28th at 7:30 p.m.
I know how much you're an Instagram guy you are, Drew Felios. Expect you to get some pictures posted there.
A little more Twitter, I don't know, Facebook. I guess we're kind of outdated. Instagram a little bit for the youngsters, but
That's right.
It's all good. How about the start from Daytona State? And a nice at-bat by J.L. Wild.
Clutch two-out RBI, two-out triple there. Really nice job there getting that first run across. Now we'll see if Madison Mitchell, you always hear coaches talk about the inning after we score. Let's get them out 1, 2, 3. Let's sit them down. We'll see if Madison Mitchell can get that done here in the top of the second.
Mariah Rivera scheduled to be the starting pitcher for Daytona State in game number 2. But right now it is Mitchell, and the season stats up right there for both teams. Look at the run production for Daytona State. Coach Greer wanted to ignite the offense. He's had success, Jay, in the past as a hitting coach specifically. That's what he really emphasizes, offense, 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 and he has brought that firepower here to Daytona State.
6.5 runs a game, hitting over 330 as a team. So I think, again, defensively is where this team needs to shore itself up, but offensively I think they got plenty of hitters.
Big swing and a miss to start. Courtney Stout leads it off.
Great changeup there by Mitzel. You see the smile on Stout's face. She's totally fooled on that changeup to go to 0-1.
Stout watches this one, and it's called a ball.
I'm always amazed, Drew. You always see the batters in the batter's box shoveling the dirt out of the way, trying to get some good footing in the batter's box. These batter's boxes take a beating, especially.
Stout tries to lay one down. Mitzel's going to be a little bit late. She's safe. That's a beautiful job from Stout, getting it down, Jay, and then digging it out and just barely beating the throw.
Absolutely. Great bunt there, kind of in no man's land between the pitcher and the catcher, and she just used her speed and outran the throw.
Third baseman, number 22.
So Courtney Stout, the Braden River product in the Sarasota area, is aboard, and now Gracie Snell steps in.
The Titans have struggled to score runs, only 18 runs in 8 games, so they're going to be. You might see some small ball out of these guys, some bunting, some hit and run. You see a steal right there. So I think you're going to see Coach Pettick try to manufacture runs because they're not going to hit a lot of home runs. They've not scored a lot of runs, so I think you're going to see a lot of this getting the batter over to third base with less than 2 out, kind of batting here for the Titans.
Successful stolen bag there for Courtney Stout. And it's 0-1 to Gracie Snell.
And again, if you're Snell here, less than 2 outs, you want to make, at worst, get the runner over to third base with less than 2 outs. If you make an out, that's not the worst thing in the world, but you need to advance this runner to get her to third base.
Marissa Shout on deck here for Eastern Florida.
Go.
They'll try and lay down another, make the sure play at first, get her there. There's one away. The runner does, though, advance to third.
Great job there great job getting that runner to third with less than 2 outs. That's exactly what you want to draw up if you're Coach Pettick, and that's a good job there.
Baseman, number 3,
That's the way this game of softball is
Marissa
played. Put it
Shout.
in play.
Yes.
Make the defense work. Marissa Shout, the freshman now standing in. And could we see, Jay, potentially our third bunt in a row?
Usually it might be a safety squeeze kind of situation here. I would expect her to swing away here. But again, they're struggling to score runs, so Coach Pettick is trying to manufacture runs any way she can, and that bunt might be the way to go here.
Instead, she swings away. And this one is just foul. So quick 2 strikes here to Marissa Shout. Faith Campos will be on deck.
If you're Madison Mitchell now at 0-2, you're looking for the strikeout. Change up is your best pitch here. I would expect to see a change up or 2 in this next couple of pitch sequences. Because, again, strikeout is your best friend right here with less than 2 outs and a runner on third.
0-2 to Shout. CJ2 with the pitcher Mitzel, that face guard that she is wearing.
Yep.
Different pitchers do it different ways, but the face guard, I think very interesting here for Daytona State's pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, again, safety. It's all about safety. Again, it's not mandatory.
Right back at her,
That's
just
gonna
as
get a
we're
run.
talking about it. And this is going to be played to first base for the out. That does score the run,
Yep.
and a good manufactured run on the Titan side.
Yep, nice job by Shout to get the runner in, make contact, put the ball in play. Daytona has struggled defensively, but a nice job there putting the ball in play. Nice job by the second baseman Wild to make the out. Worse, minimal damage. If you're going to have runners on base, you want to have minimal damage, and 1 run's great, 2 outs, nobody on.
Now it's Faith Campos, the freshman outfielder. Campos watches high. She's out of Claremont, Lake Minneola High School. The entire Sunshine State.
My mistake. I
recruited.
thought the runner scored. The runner didn't advance. I was wow. I did not. Oh, now we got a wild pitch. That's going to score the run.
Speak too soon. Here it comes.
Wild pitch scores the run. I completely missed that. I was assured the ball hit to the right side of the diamond, that the runner from third was going to score, and she didn't go. Now she gets in on the wild pitch.
So now it is tied
Yes.
at 1 apiece.
Yes.
Got to make sure we're in midseason form.
Man, I mean, ball went to the right side. I was assured that she was going to score. That is
Here's another bunt attempt. They've really made the pitcher work, and that is impossible to get to. And Campos is to first safely.
And what you're seeing is that you can tell Eastern Florida has spent a lot of time practicing bunting. They are putting the ball in perfect spots on the diamond. It's not a bunt right back to the pitcher. They're doing a great job placing these bunts and using their speed.
So now here comes Ava Bassani. Bassani watches one low. Want to make Mitchell throw as many pitches as possible here early in this game. College softball, remember, 7 innings. This is hit to the shortstop. Nice glove there, over to first. And she is going to be safe. So Weimer, the shortstop, Jay, had to make a diving play, just a little bit too much on the throw to be had.
Yeah, you can't expect her to throw her out. That's a great play by Weimer to keep the ball in the infield.
You see Coach Greer coming out of the dugout here to have a little conversation with our umpire, and let's see.
Maybe an injury. Maybe Weimer landed awkwardly on the great play in the hole there. She might have.
And the runner is called out, Jay, an interference call on the base runner trying to advance. So Coach Greer comes out, makes an appeal, and Mike Kelly, our base umpire, ruling that was interference. And you see right there, Coach,
hold on.
Coach Shelby Pettick.
No, they're calling her safe.
So first the call was made out and then safe. How could they switch the call? That is a little confusing here for sure.
They're wondering if maybe the first baseman had her foot on the bag. She might have been. I don't think there was any interference. I don't think interference was the issue. They called her safe at first base. The base umpire called her safe at first base. Interesting.
With only one base umpire, Jay, it's a lot of responsibility on the plate of umpire Kelly here this afternoon.
What they do a lot of times, if there's a close one, whether they pulled their foot at first, they might look at the home plate umpire to see if he's got a good angle if the first baseman pulled her foot. That may be what they questioned. The second base the base umpire might have asked for help from the home plate umpire.
Howard.
After it's all sorted out, top of the order for Eastern Florida.
Again, big moment here for Mitchell. You got first and third, a little bit of chaos the last couple of minutes. You got to get it out here. You can't go from a 1-run inning to a 3 or 4-run inning. Concentrate, get the batter out here.
Trinity Howard, remember, she struck out her first time up off that beautiful changeup from Mitchell. Mitchell goes low, and a good eye by Howard.
Nice stop there by Connor Walchuk, keeping that ball in front of her from getting away for a wild pitch.
Faith Campos there on third base for Eastern Florida. Titans, this would be a huge win for them on the road here at Daytona. Big game for both teams here early in the season. Big series, that is.
Howard had the green light there on 2-0, had a good cut and just missed to foul that ball off.
Trinity Howard is good and all around softball player as there is at this level in the state of Florida. And she fouls one off. So it's going to be 2 balls, 2 strikes here. And Mitchell just 1 pitch away from getting back to the dugout here, Jay.
Nice job, her getting even in the count here. Now you can get the changeup back in play on 2-2 or 3-2. You still have a base open. Worst case scenario, you still have a base open, but you want to get Howard out here on the 2-2.
Here it comes. And a good contact that time by Howard, but again foul. Jay, she has missed
Three
She
balls.
has hit 3 missiles down right in that spot.
Yep. And you notice the third baseman for the Falcons, Linhart, she's playing very close to the bag there because Howard has had 3 ropes that she's hit down the third base line, all 3 foul.
Tried to get her to chase. Good discipline that time from Trinity Howard, and we are full 3-2.
Good pitch there by Mitzel, though, right on the borderline of the strike zone. Good job here. Now it's 3-2. You still have a base open, so you don't have to throw a strike here if you don't want to. Throw it close, though. Make a decision.
J.C. Boykin on deck. Here it comes, and it's ball 4. So Howard is aboard, and now the bases are loaded. J.C. Boykin, who grounded out her last time up, comes to the plate.
Again, big moment in this game early here for Madison. She's got to settle down here. Again, minimize the damage. 1 run's not a big deal. You got the bases loaded, had a little bit of controversy in the inning. Focus, get the out here.
J.C. Boykin, the freshman from Valdosta. A strike. Outside part of the plate utilized there.
Nice job getting ahead in the count there. Keep the ball down.
Boykin gets a piece of it. Should
Nice.
be playable. The shortstop able to make the stab. Weimer over to Wild, and Daytona State will get out of the inning. Eastern Florida strands 3. We're tied at 1. A great softball game cooking here in Falcons country.
The Falcons 1.
A look at the Falcons softball complex here on the campus of Daytona State College. Beautiful facility to come watch a game, and a great product Daytona State is putting on the field. New head coach, in case you are just joining us, want to tell you about him and what he is doing for this program. Ben Greer in his first year as the head coach at Daytona State. It's his 10th year coaching junior college softball. Feels like, Jason, he's sort of starting from scratch here alongside Jason Powers. I'm Drew Felios, Daytona State into a new era. And one thing I am proud to announce here right now, Jay, in the first semester, Daytona State, this softball team with a 3.65 GPA. Well done, ladies, in the classroom.
Absolutely. Coach Greer told us about what brought him to Daytona. He had come down here several times with his family during the Christmas holidays. All of a sudden, this job became available, and he said, you know what? Nice weather, nice facilities. Why not?
Make it your home. His kids are still very little. He's got a boy and a girl.
He talked about the rapport with the administration, with the athletic department. He said it was a perfect match for me and with my family. His kids, like you mentioned, weren't quite in school yet, so and how can you beat a February afternoon in Florida when it's about 75 degrees out?
Simply can't. This time of year is really awesome here, isn't it? In the state
Compared to
of Florida.
Iowa, for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Without question. Okay, Riley Konowalchuk, the catcher, to lead us off. 7, 8, and 9 here in the second for Daytona State. Riley's got some power. That time fouled it away. She comes to Daytona State, Jason.
From Winnipeg.
From Canada, so north of the border. 333 average so far in the year.
And she was another Iowa Western transfer with Coach Greer. She was one of the 3 that came down with her with Coach Greer. Again, These three players know Coach Greer's culture, his expectations, and I think they're going to do a really good job of instilling those values, those guidelines, the work ethic throughout the rest of this roster.
The next batter,
Big swing and a miss
right
there.
fielder,
So Conowalchuk
number
shut
15.
down on her first at-bat. And now that'll bring up Christina Penny, the right fielder. Penny, another local product out of Lake Worth. Just a freshman. See what she could do here in her first at-bat.
Howard continues to pepper the inside of the plate, the strike zone.
Jason, you mentioned early in the season, Daytona State in their first game, they gave up 12 runs in 1 inning, and how they were a little nervous. It was kind of a game to forget. They also had their best game against East Georgia State. They were down 7-5 in the 7th inning. Came back, got 3 runs, won that one in thrilling fashion, 8-7. So
Coach thought that was a turning point.
Yeah.
Kind of in the confidence level of this team. Hey, we're not an 8-win team anymore. We're winning more than 8 games this year, and that was a great moment he emphasized to us that he really thought the girls started to get it as a team.
2-1 to Penny, and Christina Penny watches one high. So Daytona State has struggled a little bit this year, but then they've had those moments where Coach Greer says, hey, I think I got something here, and these ladies can really improve throughout the course of this year, and we can accomplish some real goals here in 2023. Pop this one up. Penny can't square it up. Shout makes the play, and there's 2 away.
And if you look at Coach Greer's history as a head coach, he
Now
wins
batting,
2 out of every 3
third
games he
baseman,
coaches. He's got about a
number
66% winning percentage at all the different stops. He's been at Iowa Western. He was at a stop before that. This guy knows how to win games. Allow him to coach him up. He's really strong on the fundamentals. You heard it. He told us the first thing we did at practice the first day was what? Play catch. We weren't worried about hitting. Nice hit there. Solid hit up the middle.
Yeah, Maddie Linhart able to get it done. She is aboard here for Daytona State. And Jason, cannot tell you how excited I am to see Linhart at first base. Coach Greer says she has hit the ball so hard this year thus far, but always right at people. Says she's had the worst luck. She gets a good piece of power right there, and she's aboard.
He made it very apparent to us. She's put a lot of barrels on the ball and just been unlucky so far. So good to see her continue her good work at the plate and being rewarded with it with a base hit.
Top of the order for the Falcons. Here's Kylie Lucas. And she'll launch one. It's out of play. It's a long season, Jay, when you look at it, about 50 games.
Yeah.
That's a lot of play for ladies that
A lot of double headers,
Absolutely. You got studies to worry about, stuff that goes on with your family as well. I mean, there's a lot on the plate of these young student athletes.
Depth of the roster. Again, this is a sport where you play a lot of people throughout the year. You don't just play the same 9 players every lineup. You're going to play a
runner goes down to second, and she is barely in there.
Nice
Safe.
job.
Good job by Linhart.
Yep. Nice stolen base. Both teams with a stolen base on the day. So runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Now you're in a position where a base hit's going to get you back into the lead. You got your leadoff hitter. Great scenario here for the Falcons to take the lead.
Table set for Lucas. She popped out her last time up. That one's high.
Up and in there. And the reason that's a great move, even if Linhart gets thrown out, you now lead off the next inning with your leadoff hitter. So worst case scenario, she gets thrown out at second. You start the next inning, the 3rd inning, with your leadoff hitter back at the plate.
2-1 to Lucas. Trinity Howard throws about 60 miles an hour, and that is into the mid. And they're going to call a timeout. Howard wants to have a little conversation here.
And a new ball.
Yep. And out of the dugout comes Eastern Florida's head coach, Shelby Pettick. You know, she was heavily recruited by this Eastern Florida softball program, but did choose to go to Presbyterian College. So she played Division I softball in South Carolina, graduated from Presbyterian, and then she was a grad assistant at Coker College, and then spent some time at Furman University. That's a great university in South Carolina. I've done some work up there at Furman. and then spent more time at Presbyterian before taking over Eastern Florida's program. Shelby Pettit, great to have her in Falcon Country today. 3-1 now the count.
Nice.
And this ball is laced, but it's fouled. Jay, she got good contact, just got to straighten it out.
Out in front of it just a touch there, but a nice, good swing. Again, you see this Falcon lineup, they get a lot of good swings. They're putting the barrel on the ball more times than not and putting the ball in play. And like we talked about, not striking out is a big thing in women's softball. If this is one of the first times you're watching a women's softball game, put the ball in play, make the defense make a play.
Lucas, again, will foul it back. And now we're seeing a battle. This has been a lot of pitches here in this at-bat, and this young lady's got a lot of heart.
Yep. Again, I think it's clear that both pitchers are not overpowering. You're not going to have a lot of strikeouts today. It's going to be about which team can time up these balls correctly, and secondly, defensively, which teams can make the plays, because there's going to be lots of balls in play.
Oh, beautiful pitch. Trinity Howard just froze Lucas that time. So we're seeing two outstanding pitchers.
Excellent pitch there. Give her all the credit.
Mitchell for Daytona State and Howard for Eastern Florida. We've played two here at Daytona State, and the score all tied at 1. Halifax Health is partnering with Daytona State College to provide assistance for the education you need to start your healthcare career. You can find out more at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. So softball season alive and well here at Daytona State. Also had a chance to watch the basketball program last week, and we've got baseball later on this semester at Daytona State. So much happening on campus here in this tremendous athletic program. We cover it, Jay, unlike anywhere else in the country at this level.
These next couple months is very active here. Obviously, you got baseball, softball, you got a little bit of basketball still left to go. And again, broadcast schedule, next schedule, you got a game coming up on the 22nd. You got March coming up in March, and then baseball in early April. So again, there'll be lots of opportunity for you to watch this on YouTube as well as on the broadcast on here on local TV here in Daytona.
WDSC TV, Falcons Athletic Network, your home for Daytona State sports. And now we are going to see.
And post your pictures on the Instagram feed. We want to see your pictures from these different venues, all the different venues. We want to see the fans out and about.
Kenzie Ford leads it off, and it's a little bit low. Kenzie Ford comes to Eastern Florida with a perfect 4.0 GPA from her high school days.
And I'd say to the fans in the Daytona area, if you're anywhere within a 30 or 40-mile drive, this is great entertainment. If you have a young girl that's a softball player up and coming, this is great entertainment for an hour and a half, 2 hours. You can hang out for a doubleheader when they do play doubleheaders. But again, this is inexpensive entertainment for your future young. Nice.
Oh, right at the shortstop.
Weimer.
And it's Weimer again. She's having herself quite a day thus far.
Yep. Very good contact on the ball. A rope to the shortstop. And again, nice job defensive positioning there by Weimer, and she makes the play.
Designated player number 34, Abigail Smith.
So here is Abby Smith, who struck out her last time up. She's the designated player for Eastern Florida. And how about Madison Mitchell in the circle for Daytona State thus far? She's been threatened, Jay, but she's answered the bell.
Doing her job, yep. Coach Greer knows it's not going to be a high strikeout kind of game. Again, put the ball in, make them put the ball in play, and defensively make the plays behind her.
Good job pitching to her defense here. So Courtney Stout on deck for Eastern Florida, and there's the freshman, Abby Smith. Abby Smith out of Bradenton River High School down in that Sarasota area. That's a brand new area down there. And
Nice
it's absolutely booming down there, Jay. It's in that Sarasota area, around that Lakewood Ranch area as well.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of activity, a lot of great players coming out of that area. A lot of good softball all throughout the state of Florida. You see both these rosters peppered with players all over the state of Florida.
Count evened up at 2-2. Well-played game thus far here at Daytona State. Two programs somewhat in the same spot, two new coaching errors.
Rebuilding a little bit. Both
Yep.
teams rebuilding.
Daytona State gaining tons of confidence just over the past week. Coach Greer said, we think we've learned a lot about ourselves here early in the season. We either want it or we're scared.
Nice.
And it's not the latter. Tremendous pitch, and just make sure on the put out there. And Abby Smith down on strikes for the second time today.
Nice down ball there by Mitzel. Makes her chase out of the strike zone. Nice job there. 2 up, 2 outs here in the third.
Now batting, shortstop.
Drew, what I've been so impressed
Number
with my first time on campus, the
Courtney
facility quality is
Bauer.
just exceptional here at Daytona State. Whether it's the baseball, the softball, you drove me by the basketball facility. Top-notch facilities here at Daytona State.
And without question. Yeah, that soccer stadium is something else, I'm telling you. We have a ball there in the fall. Watching the boys and ladies teams compete. Courtney Stout bunted her last time up. Started that bunt barrage for Eastern Florida. She takes one high.
Surprise! Wow, that looked like a strike there.
Top of the third inning. Both teams have pushed a run across. This is hit hard again. Weimer has been money at shortstop. Takes care of it again over to Lockhart. And that does it for Eastern Florida in the third.
No hits, no errors, no runners.
So
left on
Daytona
base.
State playing well, all tied up with Eastern Florida at 1 apiece. Do you want to be featured on WDSC TV 15? Post an Instagram photo showing your Falcon pride with the hashtag DSC Fan. For each episode of The Fan Show, we'll select photos to feature in our Fan Connect segment. Watch for your photo on the next episode of The Fan Show, Tuesday, February 28th at 7:30 p.m.
Drew, you and I need to do we need to take a picture and post it.
Yes.
From here, right here in this, we will post.
I'm all for it, man. Let's make it happen.
We will do that. Promise today.
Talked about the facilities. Look at that beautiful green grass out there. Field in absolutely immaculate condition here at Daytona State. And, baseball and softball, such beautiful games. But softball, Jason, a little quicker, played at a faster pace.
Less innings.
Yes, and the way that these young ladies have just taken the ball and have run with it, and how this sport continues to explode on the national and international scene is something to behold.
And the opportunities that the younger players are getting to play. Travel softball at the 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old level. There's travel ball all through. If you look at Eastern Florida's roster, they've got 6 sets of teammates that have either played together in high school, Little League, or travel softball together. Those kind of connections are what create recruiting relationships, things like that, all throughout the state of Florida with all these programs. Booming sport around the country.
Kadri Grinstead, the 2-hole hitter, leads it off here for Daytona State.
And you notice not every one of these players looks the same. They're taller players, they're shorter players, there's more athletic players, so it doesn't matter what your stature is.
Hit to third base, and this ball's going to go awry, so Grinstead should have second base here. So a good start to the inning for the Falcons with a runner in scoring position.
Errant throw there by Gracie Snell, going back to the defense we've talked about with being an issue for Daytona State. Now pops its ugly head here for Eastern Florida. The bad throw by Snell. She had time, but a nice job hustling down the line there to get to second base. Nobody out.
Table is set for Onesimo, the sophomore for the Falcons, swinging on the first pitch and fouls it away.
Like we talked about earlier, you need to get this runner at worst to third base with less than 2 outs. Obviously, you got no outs here, so you figure out a way to get her to third base, whether it's a sacrifice fly, whether it's hit the ball to the right side of the field. Again, you have your power hitter here, so you're going to let her swing, but good contact here. Make a good swing and put a good barrel on the ball here if you're Onesimo.
Onesimo hits it to nearly the same spot. Just foul. She walked her last time up. A lot of times when you have a coaching change, Coach Harrell stepped aside after the season last year, a lot of players will transfer, especially in this day and age, Jay, But Onesimo, another one of those Falcons who saw Coach Greer come in and say, hey, I want to be a part of what's going on at Daytona State. She launches this one to center, and Campos runs in to make the play for Eastern Florida. There's 2 away.
One down.
One down, excuse me.
Not enough depth there to get her to third
Now
base,
batting,
so that's
second
not a great
baseman,
at-bat there.
number
You
10.
want to try to get her to third, but again,
JL
nice job by
Wild.
Trinity Howard getting her out in front, getting her to pop it up, short center field. Campos comes up and makes the play. But back to your point, you're right. A lot of these kids could have said, I'm going to go find another place to play. They didn't. I think once they saw who they hired, Coach Greer, with the success he's had, I think they maybe had more confidence that, hey, he can help my game get better, help me get better. And again, like we talked about, Coach Greer, the only 3 players he knew coming in were the 3 kids that he brought from Iowa Western.
JL Wild had that big RBI triple for the Falcons her last time up. Takes a strike here, 1-1. So if you are Wild, Jay, what are you looking for here with a runner on second base?
It's clear Howard's trying to jam her inside. So either wait till the ball gets put over the plate, or figure out a way to get those arms extended before that ball eats her up on the inside half of the plate.
Oh, called a
Great
strike.
pitch.
Wow.
She is wearing out that inside third of the plate there. Both balls and strikes. And now you're at 1-2. Now you got to make contact. You got to be a little bit more defensive here. Make contact, put the ball in play.
Shorten up that stance just a bit if you're Wild. Oh, that one just missed.
That's a great take there. That is a tough pitch to take there.
You can tell Trinity Howard, too, the way she's approaching her, Jay. She knows that this young lady at the plate, Wild, can certainly hurt Eastern
She
Florida.
smoked the triple last at bat to
yeah.
right field, so don't let her get those arms extended.
Hit hard.
Smoked.
Oh, what power from this hitter.
She's on it now. You can see she's nodding her head like I'm on top of it here.
So Iowa Western's loss is Daytona State's gain. We're seeing these ladies coming here from the Midwest following Coach Greer. They can certainly swing it. Big 2-2.
Yeah.
Strike 3.
Great
Yep.
pitch.
Had to call that one. And now there's 2 away.
Great pitch there by Howard. Low in the zone, not much on the in the inner half of the plate. Hard to handle there if you're a hitter, especially a power hitter who likes the ball up a little bit. Give Trinity Howard all the credit there. Nice pitch.
So Bree Weimer, the shortstop, she's been the MVP defensively for Daytona State today. Can she deliver offensively right here? Grinstead is at second base. And let's see, our umpires now discussing something in the circle.
We'll mention this later in the broadcast. Coach Greer used to be an intramural official back in the day, and a sports official. That's how he kind of got his start into coaching. We're going to get into that.
Weimer watches it high. You can certainly relate, Jay. You've done your share of officiating.
Yes.
Not always the most thankful job, appreciated job across youth athletics, huh?
No, it's not, and I will implore our fans and our parents out there, be a little.
Takes one on the elbow, though. She'll take first base.
Be a little kinder and a little gentler to the umpires in the officials in all the different sports your children are playing. Not an easy job to do. We don't get paid enough, I promise you that. Be appreciative that you have people that want to do that, because that's a thankless job.
Josh Carr behind the plate. So Jalen Lockhart now stepping in.
Nice.
Lockhart gets good contact.
There we go.
This should score
There
another.
we go.
Falcons coming along as Grinstead crosses the plate, and it's 2-1.
The Tampa product, Alonzo High School, Jalen Lockhart, who Coach Greer mentioned. There was kind of a log jam at first base, and Lockhart the last 4 or 5 games has really stepped forward and you see her deliver with a huge two-out hit there.
Catcher, number 14, Riley Kanowachuk.
So Daytona State, they've got the lead here once again. Let's take one more look.
Inside pitch, she rips it right. Well, it's just a great swing there, right down the third base line. Easy for the runner at second to score. I liked that Weimer got all the way to third base there on the hit to left field. So now you got second and third, and a chance to have a nice 3-run inning here, even do some more damage.
Kind of
going to get in there too.
This one drops for a base hit. Another run is in. One scores. The second going to be held up there.
Yep.
But Riley Konowalczyk adds another for Daytona State. And how about this 2-out rally?
Nice job there. I like it. And I also like Konowalczyk took the extra base there and got to second base, even though Lockhart didn't score. A little bleeder there in between short and left field. Not a great throw there by the left fielder. Overshot the relay. And now you get Konowalczyk into scoring position with 2 outs.
I really like this about Daytona State with 2 outs. I mean, this is a star pitcher here in Trinity Howard for Eastern Florida. And Daytona State swinging the bats, Jay. They have come out aggressive this afternoon.
Looks like we might be having a pinch. Is this a pinch hitter here maybe, Penny? Is Penny out? Nope, she's in. Okay, I thought I saw the umpire make a motion to the Eastern Florida bench that a substitution was happening, but no sub. Again, have a chance for a huge inning here. You get one more hit, you're going to put 4 on the board here, 3-1. And if you're Trinity Howard, you got to minimize the damage, keep it to 2.
Christina Penny, the right fielder. Today in the 8-hole.
Clutch 2-out hitting, and again, responsive base running. Taking the extra base. When they give you an opportunity to take that base, you take it.
Penny watches a strike. Now, those are the little things that really can make a difference.
Extend
in the game.
innings. They extend innings. They turn a 1 or 2 run inning into 3 or 4 by taking that extra base.
Change up, misses. Christina Penny, extremely talented, a freshman out of Lake Worth. Big opportunity for Daytona State. Ooh, oh,
How's that not a strike?
all of a sudden the strike zone's tightened up just a little bit, huh?
How is that not a strike?
You just talked about laying off the umpires.
Hey,
Jay.
But I'm not screaming at them. Too many parents like to scream too much.
Well, that's a strike for sure.
I'll question a call now and again, but keep the F-bombs and all the language and those kind of things to a minimum. That's the thing that's what we don't need to have. Be a good fan, a good parent, but be respectful. Wow.
So ball 4. And now first, second, and third for Daytona State. And a 3-1 lead.
Linhart got an opportunity here to blow this game wide open here if she can get a hit.
Maddie Linhart had a base hitter last time up.
According to Coach Greer, this is who we want at the plate here. She's been smoking the ball, but just hitting it right at people. So this is the player we want at the plate here if you're a Falcon fan, is Linhart, because she's really been hitting the ball even though the average doesn't say that quite yet. There we
Linhart,
go.
another piece of 1. 1 run scores. Will 2 come across the plate?
Yes.
The Falcons exploding here in the 3rd.
More Linhart. We talked about it. She's been putting the barrel on the ball. A blast into left center. Easily scores 2 runs. Nice job, Maddie Linhart. Right down the middle. Great piece of hitting. Good swing. No problem with both runners scoring.
So just like that, the lead is swelled to 5-1.
I think we're going to have a pitching change here, I think.
Yeah, we could be going in that direction.
There we go. We got a new pitcher.
So Eastern Florida will take out their star pitcher, Trinity Howard. And let's see who they go to here as the second option. We're here at Daytona State College. Great to have you with us, everybody. Drew Felios, Jason Powers. As Shelby Pettick, the Eastern Florida head coach, will go to her bullpen for the first time today. It's Daytona State and Eastern Florida. And the new pitcher will be Mandy Taylor for Eastern Florida, sophomore out of St. Augustine.
Again, I don't think Coach Pettick wanted to have to go to the bullpen in the third inning here of a doubleheader, game one of a doubleheader. But you have to, you have to stop the bleeding a little bit here with the 4-run third inning here by the Falcons.
Just a point in a game where the opposing order is starting to square up everything out of your fingers, and it was one of those moments there. So the change is made, and let's see what Taylor can do here for Eastern Florida.
You still got two on here in the bottom of the third. You still have another opportunity in scoring position to get another run home with a hit, so and you're back to the top of the order with Lucas.
So Kylie Lucas, top of the order.
Watch for a bunt here. Don't be surprised if she maybe lays down a bunt here for a base hit.
So big time base hits here in the third inning for Daytona State. The hit parade. See if it can continue. First and second with 2 down. There's a strike. Remember, Kylie Lucas struck out her last time up. She popped out her first time up. She has not been on base today. She is electric on the base pass.
Taylor was a teammate of Abby Smith and Sam Formosa, and they all played for the Florida Select organization, Travel Ball. So, again, more connections throughout the – we talked about earlier with a lot of these players on this Eastern Florida team having prior connections in high school and travel softball.
So Mandy Taylor dealing here, and it's a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Kadri Grinstead is on deck for Daytona State. It's been a marathon inning for the Falcons in a good way. They have put the pressure on this Eastern Florida team. Lucas swing and a miss, and finally Eastern Florida can head back to the dugout. But look, the damage is done big time. 5-1 the score. Falcons over the Titans here on the Falcons Athletic Network. So it's a big inning for Daytona State. And now with a 5-1 lead on Eastern Florida, Little pressure relieved off the shoulders of Madison Mitchell. She bears down here in the fourth.
Keep doing what you're doing, Madison. Throw strikes, get ahead of the count, and let your defense play behind you.
Gracie Snell tried to lay down a bunt her first time up. And this one just low. Remember, there's 2 games today between these two teams. So, Jay, anytime you're playing a doubleheader, you don't want to put too much into that first game. You're always playing to win, but you always have to at least know, especially from a pitching standpoint, there's one more game to be played coming up after this one.
Absolutely, and that's why the importance of not getting into your bullpen in the third inning is such a key thing here, because you know you got to still get another 11 innings worth of outs in over 2 games here in the next 3 or 4 hours. So the more you can get out of Mitchell here, if you can get her into the 5th or 6th inning, the better to minimize the damage that you're going to put on your bullpen and your starters in the next game.
3-1 to Gracie Snell. And Snell will watch a strike, so full count coming up now.
What'll be interesting to see is, does Trinity Howard potentially come back in the second game to pitch it all? Who knows? Or is her day done being with her lack of effectiveness?
This ball is hit
Nice.
to the third baseman. Another good play by the Daytona defense. Maddie Linhart on the hot corner. There's one away.
Again, make the plays that are there to be made. We're not asking you to make the sensational play. Make the routine plays that you got to make, and that's what they've not been doing, but they've done a really good job here in the first 3.5 innings today doing that.
Now it's Marissa Shout's turn, and she will take a strike. Shout had the RBI base hit for Eastern Florida, representing their only run of the game. Tries to lay one down, it's foul. And Jay, how about the windup of Madison Mitchell? Every pitcher's got a different way of delivering, but hers definitely a little unorthodox.
Little herky-jerky.
Almost like she's about to start a 100-meter race, isn't it?
Yep, and that probably creates why her changeup is her best pitch, because the herky-jerkiness kind of, it's difficult for the batters to pick up the flight of the ball.
Linhart at third base takes care of it. 2 quick outs.
There you go. Nice job by Linhart. Good throw there.
Now batting, number 11.
And again, throwing errors. I know Coach Greer's talked a little bit about throwing errors. That's a function of body position. Getting your body and your hips and your shoulders facing the target. Good follow through. Got a foul ball here. But again, good throwing errors typically come when your body's not in a great throwing position to start with. You saw Linhart did a really nice job getting her shoulders square to the first baseman and making a nice solid throw over to first base.
Faith Campos now standing in for Eastern Florida. You saw how fast she darted out of the batter's box trying to lay down a bunt. The bunt is a lethal weapon for this young lady. I mean, Jay, she puts that thing down and she is already standing on first base.
Yep,
so if you are Linhart, you've got to be heads up.
Yep, absolutely. The catcher, too, Connor Walchuk, has got to be ready, because that's probably the only person that can throw her out is Connor Walchuk, to be honest with you.
Swings away here, and it's foul. Huge third inning for Daytona State. 4 big runs, and they're in the driver's seat right now. It's a 5-1 game. Drew Felios, Jason Powers, and our phenomenal staff here at Daytona State, our television department. And, Jay, that's one thing I probably haven't emphasized enough in this game. The cameras, the production staff here at Daytona State made up of many, many students and dedicated faculty here on campus that just do an incredible job.
Beautiful. We're in a beautiful setup here. Popped up. Go get it.
Linhart.
Go get it.
Does she
nice
have a
job.
chance? And there's
Weimer.
Weimer over to make the grab. And Daytona State, the defense has been stellar today.
Excellent. Nice job by Weimer to go get that ball in foul territory. That is not an easy play for the third baseman. That's the shortstop's play all the way.
So 5-1 the score through 3.5 here in Daytona. You can accelerate your education by taking advantage of the incredible opportunities offered through Halifax Health Partnership with Daytona State College. If you want a rewarding career in healthcare, find out how we can help at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. There's the Halifax Health, beautiful building in the background here just beyond center field. And such an awesome campus here at Daytona State. Such a pleasure coming here time after time to watch athletics NJCAA style. And there is the new coach of the Falcons athletic program in softball, Ben Greer. You know, as far as his history is concerned, he grew up in Rainier, Oregon. It's about an hour away from Portland. Played junior college baseball. His high school coach encouraged him to get into coaching. You know, you always got to have a mentor. Coach Cameron was certainly that. And then Coach Greer, he went to Eastern Oregon to play football. Then, Jay, he was mopping floors, just doing whatever he could to make money, reffing intramurals, as you said. And then the softball coach, Missy Wheeler, at that school said, hey, why don't you come out? I need a hitting coach with me at Eastern Oregon. So as a football player, he's just doing odd jobs. Hitting coach, okay, why not?
You know what the payoff was?
Absolutely gets addicted.
She'll pay his rent the rest of the semester. That's what she told him.
Well, she gave him that first opportunity, and Jay, he took it, he ran with it, and here we are. Coach Greer has made a great living in the sport, and we're thrilled to have him here at Daytona State.
Year 11 as being a head coach.
It's pretty awesome. Kadri Grinstead is your leadoff here in the fourth for the Falcons.
He took some adversity of, hey, running out of money, needing some money in college to help pay to get through finish college, to absolutely finding a career doing it. I mean, I was in a similar boat. I grew up in the intramural recreation world at college. I worked and refereed games, and I had a career for many, many years in the Parks and Rec industry because of that love.
Oh, what a pitch. Kind of tied her up that time, just high.
Yep.
Grinstead popped out her first time up, then got on base courtesy of an error. Remember, she hit that hot shot to third that was the overthrow at first last time she was up. And here's the 1-2. Struck out.
We would be amazed, Drew. You and I have been around a lot of coaches in our day. How many guys maybe are coaching in a sport that they didn't play? You know, I mean, or didn't have a lot of active experience as an active player, weren't great players, but they just have that touch as a coach. And they know how to teach it, they know how to create a culture, and they know how to develop players into being better players, both on and off the field.
Adriano Onesimo now stepping in. Yeah, Coach Greer talked about that first year where he was a hitting coach at Eastern Oregon. He said, didn't really know exactly what the approach was going to be, but the team ended up setting records for homers in that year that he was helping out with the offense. And that inspired him to pursue this as a career, and he has certainly made a great one of it. Hit hard to second. Where is that ball? She's safe at first.
Ball ate her up there. That was a very hard hit ball. Ate up the second baseman, Marissa Schouts. I mean, tough one there for Marissa because that ball ate her up and she didn't have any idea where it was at. By the time she located it too late, Onesimo, be interesting to see if that's a hit or an error. I'm going to say that's probably an error because it was hit right at her, but that was a tricky bounce there. So I would, a kind scorekeeper, a kind scorer might give her a hit there, but that's probably going to be an error.
Now J.O. Wild's turn. Wild with a big swing.
How about Coach Greer's answer to the question when you asked him about a rivalry with Eastern Florida? And his answer was?
Didn't put much stock into any rivalries.
Everybody they play.
Every game we're going to come out and we're playing to win. So I thought that was an interesting approach. I was trying to educate him a little bit on the history of these two schools. And he said,
wanted no part of that.
He said, that's all fine and good. We still got to go play and win. I said, okay, Coach.
Next question. He didn't want no part of that being a rivalry.
Hey, it's all good. JL Wild had that big RBI triple to get the Falcons going in the first. Launches this one into left, and it still carries. I'm telling you, she's got some crazy power, doesn't she?
That had home run distance there, just a little bit foul. That ball just comes off her bat very smoothly and very effortlessly, and it goes a long way.
Seen just about everything but a home run here today.
You can tell she has been in the weight room in her career. Very stout in her legs and her calves. Nice pitch.
Oh,
nice
strike three,
pitch.
just beautiful. Mandy
Nice
Taylor
pitch.
dials it up.
Froze her completely right there. Nice pitch there by Taylor.
Second strikeout for JL Wild, and Taylor.
Almost looked like a screwball there.
Ugh.
It wasn't quite a changeup. That's just a championship pitch right there. Give her all the credit.
Here's Bree Weimer. There are those times, Jay, where you just kind of tip your cap.
Yeah. Yes. The old adage is usually good pitching beats good hitting more times than not. And that was an excellent pitch there by Taylor.
Oh, good changeup. Throw down to
Stole.
second. Safe there.
Stolen base. Nice job.
So 0-2 now the count.
Onésimo with the stolen base there. Good job taking the base.
See what Weimer can do. She's played so well today. Strike three, and that will
Do it.
take Eastern Florida back to the dugout. So no damage done. Still 5-1 the score. We've played 4 here at Daytona State College. Great to have you with us on the Falcons Athletic Network. Our next live broadcast is women's and men's basketball. That's February 22nd. Not too far away, 5:30. The women's game, 7:30. The men's game. It'll be covered on WDSC TV. Florida State College of Jacksonville will be here at the Lemarant Center on that night. Be sure and join us February 22nd for women's and men's basketball here on WDSC TV. Jay, I can't wait to be here for that. Was unable to make the last game out of the state. Tom James, our man Tom James, Ocala's own. Pride and joy here, filling in.
We like old Tom James, big USC fan. Loves him some rock and roll, some Van Halen, and he's a heck of a broadcaster on the. In addition to that, too.
So Eastern Florida coming to the plate here. Top of the 5th inning. Got some work to do.
Keep doing what you're doing, Madison.
So Mandy Taylor will be the hitter here to start things off. Madison Mitchell. Tremendous job in the circle today for the Falcons. And that's on the outside part of the plate. You know, Jay, this system here in the NJCAA and at Daytona State, all of these players here to get a great education. They're doing just that. And the dreams and hopes of a lot of these young ladies is to one day play Division I collegiate softball or maybe even beyond. Look at some of the names that have gone through Daytona State's program over the years. I remember names like Hannah Rizzuto, who went to Young Harris College, or Mariano Rodriguez, who went to Campbell. Riley Gore went to Tampa to play for the University of South Florida. And Ken Erickson, legendary coach there. Samantha Pelham to Florida Gulf Coast. The names and the talent that's gone through this program here has been something to behold.
And that's the other thing people don't realize. Junior college softball, all these programs, every 2 years you're recycling the roster. I mean, every year really, but every 2 years people are gone. They're not here for more than 2 years at your school. So what you do in that short amount of time has such an impact on their opportunity to play at a Division II or Division I school down the road.
And that's going to be a walk, so Taylor's going to trot down to first base. So the Titans have a base runner here to start the fifth.
So you hear coaches talk about, I have a long-term plan. Well, their long-term plan at the junior college level is 2 years. A lot of times maybe only 1 year, depending on how good they are. They may only be here for a year, so there's not a whole lot of waiting around. You got to get to the core values of your program really quick.
Leadoff hitter, Trinity Howard tries to lay one down for strike one. Also want to mention Alicia Tomberlin went to UCF. Meg Donahue to University of Wisconsin. Miranda Green also suiting up for the Knights at UCF. Molly Hughes as well.
And even Eastern Florida has some players. They have 4 players from last year's team that are playing at four-year institutions. Hampton University, Fisher College, Mars Hill University, Kaiser University. So give credit to the Eastern Florida program as well for developing players and getting them to get them another opportunity.
You know how much Trinity Howard would like to do some damage here offensively. Not her best day in the circle because of that Falcons offense. Right. A chance here to get some of that damage back. She watches one outside. She's going to be a tough out here.
Again, if you're Mitzel here, if they're going to get a hit, make them get a hit on a pitch on your pitch. Don't give them a meatball here so they can smack it and all of a sudden drive it out of the park. There you go. Make it good.
Base hit into left field, and all of a sudden Eastern Florida's got something cooking here in the fifth.
Nice job by Howard putting the ball in play. Big hop there over the third baseman's head, over Linhart's head. So you got some.
Now batting,
top of
left fielder, number 45, J.C. Boykin.
So now J.C. Boykin will step in. Mitzel tries to get out of it here, and they lay down a bunt. It goes foul.
The odds are they're going to bunt here, so get it out. You don't have to get the lead runner at third. Get it out somewhere, whether it's more than likely first base. But you do have looks like a little bit slower of a runner at second, so maybe you get it out at third if they bunt it right back to you, but get it out somewhere. Trade an out for a base. You got a 4-run lead. This is where get it out if you're Coach Greer. Minimize the damage, potentially.
2 strikes the count to the hitter, and it's outside, a little bit high as well.
And now that you have 2 strikes, it probably eliminates the bunt, which is a good thing for the Falcons. Now that you're going to make her put the ball in play more than likely, and maybe you can get a strikeout here.
Boykin gets a piece of one to center field. It drops. So we're going to have the bases loaded here. Everybody's safe. It dropped right in front of Grinstead, and now a lot of pressure on Madison Mitzel. And if you're Daytona State, Jay, Ben Greer's going to call timeout, try and settle things down.
Yep. A ball I thought maybe the center Grinstead was going to get. She kind of pulled up at the last second. I thought she had a chance to get there, and she didn't. So now it's bases loaded. Runners obviously couldn't advance till they knew the ball was down. So they got bases loaded, nobody out. Again, if you're Coach Greer, you don't want to have to go to the bullpen here, but you got to, again, minimize the damage. If you give up a run or two, you're okay. Figure out a way to get it out. Problem is you got the heart of the order coming up for Eastern Florida, so you got to be careful here.
Saw Coach Greer. I have an idea of what he told the ladies. Hey, we've done great this entire game. No one's going to do this all by themselves. Let's depend on each other here. let's get out of this inning with minimal damage.
Yep. But you do have a very formidable
The
hitter
batter,
here, Kenzie
first
Ford.
baseman,
She
number
can
13,
hit the ball out of the
Mackenzie
ballpark. She
Ford.
hit a rope the last time, right to the shortstop, I believe.
And
So be very careful here. This game could be tied up.
popped out her last time up. This one is a little bit low.
She's their number 3 hitter, which is typically the best hitter in the lineup for most teams. So again, this is a danger moment here for Mitzel.
That one low as well.
She's going to have a green light here on 2-0 with the bases loaded, I can almost assure you. So do not just groove one in there. You still got to make her hit your pitch, but you can't be too picky. Oh, boy.
And now Trouble J, it's 3-0. So if you're 4, you're probably going to hold off.
I'm taking here. Make her throw a strike.
The dugout is electric for Eastern Florida. Sensing a big inning here. 4 watches a strike.
Good pitch there.
So where do you try and locate this one?
I mean, she's got the green light, I can promise you. I mean, in a perfect world, on the inner half of the plate, inner half of the strike zone.
It's high,
Wow.
and a run is going to come in for the Titans.
Man, that looked like a good pitch there.
So Taylor crosses the plate, and it's a 5-2 game. Still nobody out, and if you're the Falcons, that is the big concern here. The fact that you don't have an out yet in this inning.
I think we're making a change. It looks like Coach Greer going to the bullpen.
So great job by Madison Mitzel,
Yeah.
but needing a little assistance here. And Daytona State will go to their number 2 option. So I believe it's going to be Emma Ream he's going to go to here, the freshman out of Clearwater, number 21.
It is.
She makes a living coming out of that bullpen, Jay, in relief. Also known to start a few games, but she's got a nice screwball. She's a very gritty player, and she's got some pretty nice velocity as well.
Yep. This is where you need a strikeout. If you can bring in somebody in the game that can get a strikeout, this is a golden opportunity if you can get a strikeout here. But again, you're going to be dealing with the number 4 hitter, Abby Smith, one of their better hitters. So, again, minimize the damage. Even if you get out of this inning 5-4, you'll take that right now. If you can get out of this inning at 5-4, you would take that at giving up 2 more runs. But don't give them the freebies. Make them put the ball in play here.
Abby Smith struck out 2 times today. Daytona State hopes
Good start.
number 3 is in the works. If you are the Falcons too, Jay, do you think double play possibly?
Hard to get double plays in softball, but yeah, I mean, if it's a hard hit ball, sure. Maybe you get you got to get an out, though. If they put the ball in play, you got to get an out somewhere. Even if it's only 1 out, get an out. If you can turn a double play, great, but get an out somewhere. And remember, if this ball gets hit to the third baseman hard or the pitcher hard, go.
Oh, tough one.
No.
Oh, it gets away. Everybody is going to be safe here. So the Falcons all of a sudden running into a wall defensively.
Yeah, that was not a good. Weimer picked her head up. When we see the replay here, she picked her head up. She was trying to go to second base for the flip. Watch her pick her head up as the ball's approaching. Instead of getting one, he picks her head up trying to flip it to second and gets nothing.
Number 17.
She was going to be safe at second base either way. Her only play was going to be at first base, so just bad luck there. Oh,
Another one to the
Nice
second
play.
baseman. And this
ball
one gets away as well.
Oh, boy.
So bad luck all of a sudden raining down on the Falcons. And we are tied at 5.
Wild with the nice play in the hole, but not a good throw to the first baseman. Lockhart throws it away. We still have, again, great play in the hole to get it. Not a great throw. Threw it at the feet of the first baseman, and the ball gets away. Now we're still at bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the 5th. The problem that's arose for the Falcons all year has been defense. We've seen in the last 2 plays, not that they could have been they were easy plays, but there were plays,
number 22,
especially the throw there. That's a throw you got to be able to make to get the out at first, and not a great job there on the throw. But defensive liabilities has reared their head here in the 5th inning.
Now it's Gracie Snell's turn. Daytona State just hoping for an out here.
Now you're in a really tough spot here. The game's tied.
First base is open, so there's no force on the base pass.
Yep. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out.
The dangerous bat of Gracie Snell. She's grounded out, popped out here today. And again, that strike zone seems to shrink.
But give Eastern Florida credit. They've put the ball in play. They haven't struck out. They took the walks when they were there. And now we're in a 5-5 game, top of the 5th.
Just sense the rivalry that is Eastern Florida and Daytona State. You just knew that Eastern Florida was not going to go quietly. They've come screaming back here in the 5th. A strike delivered there.
And on the verge of a huge inning. I've already got 4 across with nobody out. They got 2 more in scoring position. So again, get it out. Even if it gives up another run, get it out. Now you're back to a full count.
So 3-2. It's been a back and forth game. Daytona State had the lead early. It was 1-0. Eastern Florida tied it, making it 1-1. Then Daytona State with 4 runs in the 3rd. It was a 5-1 game. Felt safe. And then this. 4 big runs here in the 5th for the Titans. A wave at that one and foul it back. So Gracie Snell trying to hang in there.
Nice job staying alive on a good pitch there on 3-2. And a nice job by fighting that one off to stay alive for Snell.
Emma Ream, second pitcher of the game for Daytona State, needs a big one here.
Get it out.
Get a piece of it to the second baseman, and the out is made, but bad news. Eastern Florida's got the lead once again.
6-5, I get it, but it's still a good job. Again, there was no play to be made there at home. Snell did a good job getting the out. I'm sorry, not Snell.
the batter,
Wild
second
did a nice
baseman,
job
number
getting
3,
the out at first. Again,
Marissa
you're now down
Brown.
1. Again, this is where if you can get a strikeout or a pop-up, oh, here comes the squeeze.
So Marissa Shout is the hitter.
You can tell this Eastern Florida squad behind Coach Pettick have really worked on bunting a lot. They use bunting as a big part of their arsenal, both to get runners over, possible suicide squeeze, and for hits.
Marissa Shout had an RBI, her first at bat, then a ground out in her second. Again, trying to use that bunt, and they'll throw to third base, have her in a pickle. She takes home, and she's safe there. So forcing that defense of Daytona State to make an extra throw, and they're able to get a run out of it.
Yep. They get it. Man, that is a tough way to give up a run there. They had her in a rundown. The catcher might have thrown the ball tad bit too soon when she was not close enough back to third base, because once she threw the ball, the runner just turned and headed for home. Now it's 7-5. Now again, you've given up 6 here.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Marissa Shout. Boy, a 6-run inning. You know, not all the defense, been some pitching issues here for Daytona State in the 5th. Trying to shake off the cobwebs. Good contact made, and it's foul. But you can just see how the Titans are starting to square it up.
The momentum has definitely changed in this game. Again, both teams are into their bullpen now, so it's now a bullpen game for both teams. Ream is a freshman pitcher here. Got to get an out here. Got to get out of this inning 7-5.
That ball dealt low. Shout's going to watch it. And now 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Emma Ream put into a pressure situation here for Daytona State. Remember, there is another pitcher for the Falcons, Mariah Rivera. Coach Greer was hoping to save her for the next game, and he hopes Ream can get on track, and hopefully that strikeout is what gets Emma going.
Nice job there getting the second out there. And
The
the
batter,
funny part is there's not been a lot of hard hit balls. It's not like there's
11,
been ropes. There's been a couple bloops, a couple
Campbell.
errors. So it's not like Emma's been hit hard, but a little bit of bad luck and a couple of defensive malfunctions have created this 6-run inning.
So here's Faith Campos. Remember, this is the player that will lay it down and then absolutely book it to first. That one hard hit, and she's out there. So finally, Daytona State gets out of the inning. But it was a
6
disaster
runs,
inning for Daytona
2
State. They
hits,
give up 6
2
runs.
No
They go from leading 5-1 to down 7-5. Incredible, the swing of events. A meeting in the outfield for Coach Greer and the Falcons. And we're back in a moment. And do you want to be featured on WDSC TV 15? You can post an Instagram photo showing your Falcon pride with the hashtag DSC Fan. For each episode of The Fan Show, we're going to select photos to feature in our Fan Connect segment. Watch for your photo on the next episode of The Fan Show, Tuesday, February 28th at 7:30.
Drew and I doing our photo right now for DSC Fan.
Nice photo there in studio, our beautiful studio here on campus.
Post it right now.
Hashtag DSC Fan. Yeah, there's been great attendance at games this entire year, and I think a lot of the testament to that, Jay, is the student housing on campus here at Daytona State. We were waiting for it to happen. The dormitories were built, and the students have come. They're enjoying them, and they're enjoying life on campus here at Daytona State, coming to all the athletic events.
No, that's the lifeblood of any university. You talk about housing, more kids staying on campus, more activities, more involvement in the athletic program, student affairs, student government, all those things that make up a college experience. Daytona State is offering.
See our television tower there on the right side of your screen here at WDSC TV. Honored to broadcast this game here today on the Falcons Athletic Network. New hitter for Daytona State, Kiera Menolfi. Her first at-bat, freshman out of Royal Palm Beach, and she swings at strike one. So Mandy Taylor working for Eastern Florida in the circle, and Daytona State, the home team, all of a sudden down 2. Rise ball lays off it. It's ball 1. Mandy Taylor in relief of Trinity Howard. Howard was chased in the 3rd inning by this Daytona State lineup. Falcons swung the bat well today, but Eastern Florida making the most out of their opportunities in the 5th, and they've got a 2-run lead.
Now, if you're Daytona State, get back in the game. Get some base runners. Get some good swings. You're into the bullpen. Again, give Taylor credit. She's come in and done well.
This ball is swung on and fouled.
Put the pressure back on Eastern Florida to make some plays on defense. Be aggressive on the base paths, which they've been. Already a couple stolen bases today. They've taken a couple extra bases on some of these hits to the outfield. So let's get the pressure back on Eastern Florida.
Two balls, 2 strikes still. Bottom of the 5th inning. Sun just starting to go down here on campus. Perfect day for softball. We've enjoyed it. Eastern Florida would love to get a win here in the first half of this doubleheader. So Kiara Menolfi trying to get on board here for the Falcons.
Big pitch here if you can get a walk.
Trying to time up the pitcher, Mandy Taylor. Here it comes, the big 3-2.
Nice.
Oh, it's rifled into center field, and it's going to drop. Great piece of hitting by Kiara Menolfi.
Nice job there. Nice job. Going the opposite way to hit the ball into right center field.
The next batter, catcher, number 14, Riley Kanowalchuk.
I wonder what the glare is like out there. It's, you can see the sun starting to set a little bit. You see the more shadows on the infield. I wonder what the visual is for the batter now that they're looking straight into the. Are they looking into the sun? Are they not? You can still see the sun out in right field a little bit. I'd be interested to see what the vision is for the batters.
7-hole hitter now, Riley Kanowalchuk. The catcher, she had a base hitter last time up.
Wow, there you go. You can see the sun there, the glare coming out of right field. I wonder what that effect is on the batters.
Yeah, especially when you're looking, if you're at the plate to the
Yep.
right side, it's
Yep.
got to be a little bit of a hindrance. Kanowalchuk, catcher's been dealing with that all day long. She'll pop this one up. Oh, good job by Sam Clark coming out of the box. She really looks like a catcher, doesn't she?
She got out of that stance, immediately called off the third
Now
baseman, and
batting,
made the
right
play. Nice
fielder,
job.
Number 15, Christina Penny.
Sam Clark popped up immediately out of that stance. Love it. Christina Penny. Walked her last time up, and she watches one high.
Beautiful backdrop there to the Halifax building there in the background.
Penny lifts this one to left. Good play made out there by Boykin. And there's two down.
As we know, this city will be the race car capital of the world here coming up in about a week and a half.
Well, you can feel that energy, can't you?
Driving in here today, it will be this place will be electric here, starting probably this Sunday, this weekend, as qualifying and all that starts for Daytona. And obviously, the race will be the following Sunday for the Great American Race.
Maddie Linhart now stepping in. Big swing and a miss. Jay, you were in awe coming into Daytona today. It's been a while since you've been in this great city.
It has. I came to the Busch Clash when I was probably a teenager many years ago, and we just drove by the racetrack on the way in today, and it was just the beauty of that track being right there on the road. It's when you haven't seen it for a long time, it's a spectacle for sure.
You know, it's just normal for everybody involved here at Daytona State.
yeah.
They drive by it every single day, but it is pretty cool. Take a moment, soak it in. And what it must be like on race day. Linhart dealing with two strikes. Tries to hang in there and fouls it back.
I would not want to be in the traffic on the main road here coming in on that weekend anywhere next week. Uber Eats if you're looking to order out.
Oh, good job.
Nice eye
Watching
there.
that one go by Linhart. Linhart has had an awesome day at the plate. She's got 2 base hits.
2 RBI single.
Yep. Swung it well for Daytona State. Falcons trailing by 2. And a 1-2. Another one popped out of play. Four and 2 record so far for these Falcons. Daytona State, a team that's going to have to play like this pretty much all year long, Jay. They don't have a true dominant pitcher. They've got to pretty much outscore other teams.
And again, I think if you're Coach Greer, you're trying to create a culture here of, hey, we're not going to be winning every game 10-0 or 7-1. We got to be able to come back. We talked about earlier in the year, they came back from 2 runs down, scored 3 in the 7th to win a game earlier. You're going to be in a lot of these kind of games where the little plays matter, the defensive errors, the ability to make the right throw, to be able to make the right read on running the bases. So it's a growing process, but again, you can definitely see the imprint that Coach Greer's had on this roster through 6 games.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Maddie Linhart. Third baseman for Daytona State trying to come through here. And it's a rise ball she lays off at 2-2.
Good eye there. Good pitch by Taylor right at the top of the zone. It's a good take.
Mandy Taylor looking for the payoff pitch. Looks towards the dugout as she gets the signal.
Good swing.
It's at-bats like this from Linhart that really make a difference. Make the pitcher work. Build up that pitch count.
And the ability for her then to hit the pitcher's pitch, and eventually that pitcher's going to make a mistake, and then you can really drive the ball either out of the ballpark or for a solid hit.
Sticks the bat out there, hits it to the shortstop.
Beat it.
Stout over to first, safe over there. And the inning continues for Daytona State. Runners on first and second.
Nice job by Linhart putting the ball in play. That was an excellent pitch by Taylor on a 2-2 pitch on the outer half of the plate. She rolled the ball over to the shortstop and beat it out. Great hustle there by Linhart.
This is how you help your team, Jay. Just put the ball out there, put it in play, dig like crazy, hustle, and good things happen.
And nice job hustling to second base to avoid there being a force out at second there.
Okay, Kylie Lucas has not been on base today. She's had some tough luck at the plate. Can she come through here? Daytona State needs her.
You're back at the top of the order here, so you're back to your better hitters that you think are your best hitters. So again, Lucas is known for her speed, but again, you got to put the ball in play here and figure out a way to get a hit. Because you may not be able to score the runner from second with a hit. It might need to be something in the gap in order to get her home on just a regular base hit.
Quick 2 balls dealt to Lucas. Daytona State has not tried to really lay down a bunt today. See if they maybe try it here with Lucas with her speed and try and make Taylor play defense here. Instead, it's 3-0.
I don't like. You know what I think the umpire just did there?
What?
The catcher dropped the ball. That's why I don't think he called a strike.
Okay.
There's always that little unwritten rule. If you drop the ball, I'm not giving you a strike. And I think that's just what happened. That was a perfect pitch right down the middle. I don't like that.
Well, you see the teammates of Mandy Taylor trying to just keep her loose, calm her down.
Now I'm taking here. If I'm Lucas, I'm taking the next 2 pitches here because you got Grinstead on deck. Lucas is not a power hitter. I'm definitely taking these next 2 pitches. Make her throw 2 strikes.
Here it comes, 3-0.
Yep.
And a strike.
Make her throw another one.
You've got Grinstead and then Onesimo.
Your power's coming up. If you can get to them, make Taylor throw another strike here on 3-1.
Lucas watches it, and it's ball 4. So the base is loaded for Daytona State, and Kadri Grinstead
The batter
has a chance to come to the plate. You knew that Shelby Pettick was going to stop action here and pay a visit to the circle.
Here's a chance again. You get base hit. You're right. The game's going to be tied here if you get a base hit, most likely. So this is where you got to again. Taylor's been in the game now an inning and a half, 2 innings for several outs. Got to make them pay here. You got the meteor order coming up.
Meanwhile, Coach Greer has a word with his base runners.
Little smile, a little smirk to Lucas.
2 away. And a nice 2-out rally by Daytona State. They've done this a few occasions today. Got to give credit to the lineup of Coach Greer. Kadri Grinstead now She's made good contact today.
Several two-out RBIs already today. Taylor has definitely lost her feel of the strike zone here the last several batters. Not as precise with her pitch location.
And Jay, credit Daytona State if they've done one thing today exceptionally well. They've been really patient.
Yep.
They have not chased anything at the plate.
Now it's 2-0 here. Now you got a golden. Oh, they called that a strike. Wow. That's a good pitch there.
So now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Onesimo on deck for the Falcons. Let's see if Grinstead can come through.
It's 2-1. Counts 2-1. I thought the second pitch was a ball. I didn't see him give a. Yeah, it is 2-1. So now you're still in the hitter's advantage here. 2-1. See a good pitch and put a good swing on it. Two and two here. Now it's a big pitch for Taylor here. You've gotten back to 2-2. Big opportunity here for Grinstead.
Kadri Grinstead digging in. Here it comes. Good contact once again, but it is lifted to left field. And the play made by Eastern Florida. Boykin out there squeezes it. No damage done. Daytona State strands 3 in the 5th. So at the end of 5, it's 7-5. Eastern Florida over Daytona State College. And with that, I'd like to take a deep breath and welcome you into our state-of-the-art studio here at Daytona State. It has certainly been a fun day of softball here inside Falcons country. Drew Felios alongside Jason Powers. Seesaw battle here, rivalry game, Eastern Florida and Daytona State. It has been fun to be a part of.
1-1 to 5-1 to 7-5. I mean, just a couple huge innings, both one by each team. But again, if you are Daytona State, you can't have any more runs scored.
No.
The odds of you coming back from 3 or 4 down with 2 innings to go is not great. So you have to stabilize here, get the rally. You had a nice rally in the 5th, didn't get any runs across. You got to capitalize here in the 6th and 7th inning.
Yeah, good job by both starting pitchers. But again, the offenses have been really, really good today. They have not made a lot of mistakes. They've made the opposing pitcher work.
Yep.
We've also seen some defensive gems here today.
Absolutely. A couple good plays early in the game by Weimer at shortstop for Daytona. Then you saw a couple of mistakes by Daytona in that big 6-run 5th inning. That led to a couple runs, but defensively got to shore it up here in the last 2 innings.
Hope you're enjoying our broadcast here on WDSC TV. And again, come out to Game 2 here today of our doubleheader as Daytona State will battle Eastern Florida once again in the nightcap. A great opportunity to come out and enjoy Falcon sports, Jason. So many great things going on campus.
No, the facilities are excellent. You got basketball going on, baseball, you got softball, so there's lots of opportunity. And to again, entertainment, very inexpensive entertainment. If you have kids in the area, this is great. These are college players playing a sport they love, good quality action, a lot of action. It's not like it's a 0-0 game. A lot of action going on. It's a great brand of entertainment.
It's Mandy Taylor leading it off here for Eastern Florida, top of the 6th inning. Still got Emerim working in the circle for the Falcons. Popped up, out of play. Sun just about completely gone in right field. So no excessive sunlight to worry about looking down there. And here is pitcher against pitcher. Jammed her, but a good job by Linhart at third. makes the play. There's one away.
Nice job. Nice pitch there. Like you mentioned, jammed her really. You could hear the sound of that ball hitting the bottom of that bat. Nice job there by Ream getting the out.
The next batter.
So here is
number
Trinity
25,
Howard coming up to the plate.
Trinity Howard.
So Howard, again, was the starting pitcher. Chased into third by the Falcons. Has a strikeout, a walk, and a base hit. Made good contact her last time up. Trinity Howard, sophomore out of Valrico, Bloomingdale High School. In the Tampa Bay area, the Bulls program has produced some big-time softball players over the years.
Absolutely. You made that. Again, softball has been such a burgeoning sport here the last 10 or 12 years at the high school level, the travel circuit, that I'm sure many of you guys listening and watching, your children have participated in. So I think it's a great developmental outlet here that leads into to the college circuit here, the college, junior college, and Division II, Division I level. So lots of opportunity out there to play softball if you're a high school player or a travel ball player all throughout college athletics, not just at the Division I level.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Howard again trying to be aggressive.
Nice
Still
job.
2-2.
Stayed alive there, just stayed alive there with the foul tip.
Oh, big swing and a miss. Great job by Emma Ream. And for the second time today, a strikeout Trinity Howard going back to the dugout.
Nice job by Ream stabilizing
Now,
things
number
here.
45, JC Boykin.
If you get a quick 1-2-3 inning here, then you get the Falcons right back at the plate to put some more pressure on the Titans to get back in this game.
J.C. Boykin has 2 groundouts and a base hit.
Looks like there's some Eastern Florida fans in the building today, which appreciate them making the drive in support.
J.C. Boykin really ignited the lineup of Eastern Florida in that 5th inning.
The breeze has settled down pretty much as the sun has begun to set a little bit, so there won't be as much of a factor with the wind as there was when this game started.
A little nippy out there as well.
Yeah.
Sun goes down.
That second game will be
Temperature dropping about 68 degrees right now on the field, and that one's lifted into center for a base hit. So J.C. Boykin now has found the stroke. She's got back-to-back hits.
She's done a nice job, played a good left field today as well. Just a solid swing on the ball. Nice clean base hit.
The batter, number 13, Mackenzie 4.
Here's Kenzie 4. Told you about her 4.0 GPA and what she means to this program at Eastern Florida. Young lady out of Oviedo High School.
The Orlando area.
You know, you're so much more recruitable, Jason, when you've got tremendous grades like that. It's almost like that thing that puts you over the top.
Absolutely.
You can't just do it on talent alone. The coach recruiting you will ask your high school coach, what are the grades like? Or what are the grades? And the grades don't lie. They are what they are. And when they're as good as Mackenzie 4 has put together, you're eventually going to get a big-time scholarship.
And if there's a debate about 2 players that are pretty equal in talent, the coach is more likely going to take the person with the more stable academic career than they will that's maybe somebody who's struggling in school or maybe doesn't like school. Not that you have to love it, but they definitely want to. They don't want to have to worry about you being an academic casualty when it comes to playing in season.
That's popped out of play, hence why I was a bust on the recruiting trail.
You were a bust because your jump shot wasn't any good.
That's a story for another day. 2-2 with 2 outs to Kinsey 4.
I could tell the audience a famous baseball story you had with one former major leaguer in your baseball career.
But we're out of time. 2-2. The third out made.
To the bottom of the 6th we go, Drew.
Is down on strikes. 7-5 is your score. Eastern Florida leads Daytona State. Halifax Health is looking for its next healthcare superstar. Find out how to become one at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. Great partnership with Halifax Health at Daytona State College. The Falcons have 6 outs, Jay, to play with here. They got to make up 2 runs. Can definitely do it. They've got the bats to do it, the talent to do it. They just cannot waste any more at-bats here.
Nope, they're in the heart of the order here with the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. This is an opportunity here in the 6th inning with the meat of the order. They've had base runners all day. Just got to piece together a couple of hits and make a little magic happen here.
Watch Eastern Florida. I really like how the team comes out. They all warm up between innings, keep everybody loose and ready to have their number called if need be. So it will be once again Mandy Taylor in the circle for Eastern Florida. Let's see what Daytona State can do here. Daytona State had a 5-1 lead in this game, but a 6-run 5th inning was the difference for the Titans. And now here's Adriana Onesimo.
Not many high strikes being called today. That looked like one on the top of the zone would have been not a lot of high strikes by this home plate umpire.
Quick 2 balls to Onesimo. Last time Onesimo was up, she hit it hard in the infield, was able to beat out the throw. Also stole a base for the Falcons. And that pitch is also a ball. And again, the strike zone really, really tight.
But if you're the Falcons, you got to take advantage of it. You know it's tight now. It's gotten tighter throughout the game. Take advantage of it. Don't swing at pitches out of the zone.
Ball 4.
Good start. Good start. You got your cleanup hitter, Wild, coming up.
The next batter, number 10, J.L. Wild.
Remember, 23 homers last year for Wild in that Iowa weather. You're in the warmer weather, warmer climate. JL's definitely a home run hitter. Now it's time to focus in and get a pitch that you can drive and go drive it.
J.L. Wild had a big hitter first time up, had the RBI, but since then, 2 strikeouts. So it seems like it's been forever since we've really seen her bat do its work.
And the one person you really are missing today, especially when you're behind, is Amaya Hernandez, who's a big hitter that's not able to play. She has a quad injury. I don't think she's available for any pinch hitting duties, but again, this would be somebody, if you had Amaya in the lineup, and just be one more weapon that you would have here in a situation like this. She'd be in the middle of the order here.
Wild with a big swing.
Good rip there, good cut.
She's gone yard one time this year, so a home run to her credit. But that .526 average going to go down a little bit today thus far. Let's see if she can improve it here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Falcons trying to get 2 runs back here.
Nice.
This ball's launched. Doesn't have enough on it. I don't think so.
Nope.
Going to charge in and make the grab in left field. J.C. Boykin squeezes out number 1.
Just got under that ball just a little bit.
Now batting, number 22, Bree Weimer.
So now Bree Weimer's turn. Defense for Eastern Florida has really tightened up as of late. And Weimer watches strike 1.
Let's give Mandy Taylor a lot of credit. She came in this game in a desperate situation, down 5-1, and she shut the door so far.
Certainly has. Taylor, a sophomore out of St. Augustine. Swung at the rise ball. That was a good-looking pitch.
It was. Very difficult for a batter to hit that ball up in the upper half of the zone there to be able to get over top of the ball when that ball is rising like it is. So good job there by Taylor going to the riser.
So an 0-2 now to Weimer. Watches that one. It's ball 1. Sam Clark behind the plate. See Kenzie Four over there, the first baseman. And Onesimo at first for Daytona State. First of 2 games today. This ball's popped up, should be playable for Gracie Snell. She makes the grab, and there's 2 outs.
The batter, number 25, Kira Manolfi.
So Kira Manolfi will come up to the plate now. She had a nice base hitter last time up for the Falcons. Second at-bat of the game.
I'm a little surprised she replaced Lockhart because Lockhart had the rope single in the big 4-run 3rd inning. So I'm a little surprised that Lockhart got pulled because, you know, Coach talked to us about how Lockhart's really been coming on the last 4 or 5 games. I'm a little surprised after her getting that hit during that rally that she got replaced.
Manolfi late swinging around. Play at second, and she is out.
Yeah.
Great throw by Sam Clark.
Yeah.
Stout was there to apply the tag, and Onesimo is pegged at second base. So we've played 6 here in Daytona, and we head to the 7th inning. It's 7-5 Eastern Florida over your Falcons here on WDSC TV. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go to the 7th here on WDSC TV. Eastern Florida comes to the plate. And a big swing and a miss. And it's going to be Abby Smith leading things off.
If you're Ream here, you got to get to the bottom of the 7th with no more damage. If you can get to the bottom of the 7th down 2, you've done your job here. I know she struggled in the 5th, but you got to get out of this inning with no more runs to give your offense one more shot to get even.
That ball outside and off the glove of Konowalczyk. So it's Abby Smith followed by Courtney Stout and Gracie Snell. 4, 5, and 6 here in this 7th inning.
You notice the catcher looking over to the dugout. Coach Greer calling all the pitches.
Abby Smith, the freshman out of Bradenton. Looking at a 1-2. That's a beautiful pitch. Oh, wow. Is right.
Wow.
Emma Ream. Ream looks like she's starting to get in, Jay, to a bit of a groove here.
Oh, yeah.
Ball's lifted into the outfield.
Go get it. Go get nice.
Oh, what a diving play. And it's Grinstead out there extending to make the grab for out number 1.
Nice play there. Very nice job coming in on that ball. That's the center fielder's play all the way.
Batter, number 17, Courtney Stout.
Nice job by Grinstead. Nice focus, watching the ball. And maintains possession after hitting the ground.
Stout trying to lay one down. Stout, her biggest weapon has been the bunt all day long. And really, Eastern Florida, Jay, that's been a big factor in this game, in that it's kept the defense of Daytona State honest. And it's kind of, when you're a pitcher and you know that threat is always there,
It's frustrating.
it kind of throws your focus off just a bit, doesn't it?
Yep, because you're always thinking I got to step in 3 or 4 steps to go play the bunt potentially. But you're right. That's how they manufactured their run in the 2nd inning to tie the game, and then they used the bunt as part of the rally in the 5th inning as well.
Emma Ream called upon in relief. Freshman out of Clearwater.
A lot of good softball comes out of that Clearwater, Pinellas County area.
Yeah, you know, right in that complex, right off of Drew Street. I believe the Ed Radis complex it's called. Got that big tournament every year. ESPN's a part of it. All the
Big
great
college
teams.
softball tournament. Yep. A lot of travel ball action that happens in that area throughout the year.
Yep.
A lot of teams come to that area to play in tournaments, and produced a lot of players over the years.
Got some big-time powerhouse programs come down to take part. Saw the smile from Courtney Stout. Let's see if she can get aboard here for Eastern Florida. Check swing, and it's fouled. 2 strikes now to Stout. And the game 7-5. You see the score. 1 out here, top of the 7th. Eastern Florida trying to have a little more insurance here. If you're Daytona State, Jason, just get off the field defensively, get back into the dugout, and see if you got enough to muster 2. Swing and a miss, and completing the strikeout there, there's 2 away.
Nice job there by Ream. Nice job by the catcher. Making the throw, Konowalczyk. You're 1 out away from the bottom of the 7th to get back in this game.
22, Gracie.
It's a nice
Snell.
drop ball there.
Now, I had a few chances to try and stand in and hit a softball.
How'd that go?
From some elite pitching. Oh, my goodness. Not an easy thing to do, let me tell you.
Because remember, I think it's 48 feet? What is 48 feet, the
Yes.
pitching, as opposed to 60 feet in the Major League Baseball.
Gracie Snell now standing in. Right back to the pitcher. It's going to get by. The shortstop's going to handle it. Well done. And it's Weimer there for Daytona State taking care of it.
No
So
runs,
7-5
no
is the
errors,
score.
no left
Falcons need 2 to tie, 3 to win here at Daytona State College on WDSC TV. See Coach Ben Greer having a word there with his team. Obviously, these moments huge for the development of this squad.
I bet what Coach Greer just said in his little huddle with the team, we were in this exact same spot a week ago down 7-5, and what did we do in the 7th inning? Put a 3 spot on the board and won 8-7 against East Georgia State. So I guarantee you that was part of the message is we've done this before about a week ago.
Saw the byline there, 7 hits for both teams. So both teams have played exceptionally well. 2 errors on each side, and those errors have definitely played a huge factor. See Eastern Florida's dugout. They know this lead, definitely not safe. And let's see what the Falcons have to offer. And Jay, every player now has seen Mandy Taylor at least one time.
Yep. So I think you're going to see, again, if you're Mandy, you want to get ahead in the count. If you are Daytona and the Falcons, you want to get ahead in the count on your end. That dictates the pitch selection. If you're up 2-0 in the count, you're most likely going to get a fastball. If you're down 0-2, you're down 1-2, that's when the screwball and the drop ball and the riser comes into play. So getting ahead in the count, and when you get a pitch, don't miss it.
Kiara Mainolfi steps in for Daytona State. Remember, she was the hitter when Onesimo was thrown out at second base. So Mainolfi gets to hit once more.
Don't miss your pitch when you get it. There you go.
Launches it. Wow, she crushed that softball. If she can just straighten it out, she'll run forever.
And you start to wonder, is Mandy Taylor running out of steam a little bit? She probably hasn't been in a game maybe this long. I don't know what their pitching rotation is, if she's always coming out of the bullpen or if she's a starter as well, but she may be running out of gas a little bit here. Because remember, she came in the game in the 3rd inning. She's been in the game since the 3rd inning when Howard got knocked out. Nice.
Good contact once again.
Nope.
Playable, though, by the left fielder. You see Boykin out there. You know, those balls to left field, Jay, even though it appeared the wind was blowing out today, those balls have died pretty much all day.
I think the wind has died, too, in the last couple of innings as well. I think as we get closer to sunset, I think the wind looks like the winds die down a little bit as the sun starts to go down. But 2 outs left for the Falcons. Kona Walchuk, bottom of the order here, 7-8-9.
Kona Walchuk, the catcher, popped out her last time up, does have a base hit today. And she fouls the first pitch out of play.
I wonder here if we get to Penny, or I know they're not pinch hitting for Linhart, but potentially if Penny gets who's up next, if there's a runner on, if Kona Walchuk reaches base, you maybe go to a pinch hitter. But you're not pinch hitting for Linhart. She's had a great game in the 9-hole.
Kona Walchuk pops it up. This one may be playable. No, it drifts out of play. Clark was all over it. I don't think I've seen a catcher playing softball as quick to just stand up as this young lady, Sam Clark.
She's excellent getting out of her stance. She's very responsive to the sound of the ball. She can tell if it's a straight up, if it's going to the left, to the first base side, the third base side. Usually they say the catchers are the smartest players on the team a lot of times. Have the most game awareness and game IQ than most people on the team because of all the responsibilities they have.
Oh, great. Big pitch there from Taylor.
Great change up there.
Got her to chase. There's 2 down, and Daytona State is down to their last out.
Terrific pitch there by Taylor on the outside of the plate.
Christina.
Just good enough that you can't take that down with 2 strikes. Excellent pitch there by Mandy Taylor.
So it all comes down to Christina Penny for Daytona State. The right fielder here in a pressure situation.
Uh-oh.
Jam that time, able to just foul it back.
And maybe your best hitter's on deck, Linhart, today. So if you can figure out a way to get on base, your best hitter's coming up to the plate in the 9-hole.
Remember, there is a game coming up after this one. So Daytona State, if they don't win, will have a chance to redeem themselves. And now a tough spot. It's 0-2. I'll tell you what, this Mandy Taylor has really done the job for Eastern Florida. She has kept the Falcons hitters uncomfortable since the third inning. Pop this one up. Penny to the second baseman, and the catch is made, and that's going to do it.
No runs,
So
no
Shout
hits, no
squeezes the final out, and Daytona State will fall in this one. The final score 7-5. Eastern Florida, that huge fifth inning, Jay, 6 runs. See it right there, was the difference in the game. And it leads to the 7-5 victory, Titans over the Falcons.
A little self-inflicted wounds, a couple errors in the inning, a couple of walks, not a lot of hard hit balls. There was an infield hit. I mean, there was a couple bleeders, a couple blue pits. So if you're Coach Greer, you're frustrated that you lose the game, but you're not getting batted around. Your pitching staff's not getting blasted for 2-3 home runs. So that I would take some solace out of that. But again, defensively, you got to shore up. You can't make the 2 errors. Those are the ones that come back to kill you.
So overall, a good showing by the Daytona State Falcons as they led for much of this game, but in the end, just not meant to be as they fall 7-5 to Eastern Florida. Halifax Health, proud supporter of Falcon Athletics, the official healthcare provider for the Falcons athletic program. Thanks once again to Halifax Health for all they do for Daytona State College. It is a busy semester here athletically for Daytona State. So much to do, so many great sports on campus coming your way, and a chance to do this. Be featured on WDSC TV 15. You can do it by posting an Instagram photo showing your Falcon pride with the hashtag DSC Fan. For each episode of The Fan Show, we'll select photos and feature for our Fan Connect segment. So you can watch for your photo on the next episode of The Fan Show, Tuesday, February 28th at 7:30 p.m. Make sure to get busy on Instagram for all Daytona State sports. So, hope you enjoyed this one. A beautiful day on campus here at Daytona State, and another game coming up in just a few minutes. We won't have the broadcast for you, but a chance for you to get out to the park and enjoy some Daytona State softball. Altogether, pretty good showing for Ben Greer in his debut on WDSC TV, the Falcons Athletic Network. For our phenomenal crew, for Jason Powers, I'm Drew Felios. Falcons have their moments. In the end, just a couple runs short, but they'll be back, and we'll be following Daytona State as usual throughout the rest of the semester. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great night.